Well, good morning, my friends. I'm so glad you're here. Let me tell you, yesterday I was busier than a one-armed paper hanger. And so I had everything ready to roll. And then, life happened. But I missed you. I did. Had a great weekend. I cannot believe this. Some people call it a false fall, but I think it's here to stay. It was perfect football weather. Perfect. And it was perfect for me because OU beat Michigan. Yes. Let's all have a round of applause for Boomer Sooner. I know you all love when I brag about my teams. And I love to post about football on the channel. And you guys won because I asked, who do you think's going to win? And overwhelmingly, you said OU, and you were right. Great game. Was very happy. Christina said fall is officially here. I feel it. Now, some people are like, can we just keep the cool weather and still have margaritas as opposed to pumpkin spice? I see a lot of those posts. Like, your pumpkin spice people can kiss my ass because I wasn't done with my margaritas. Yeah, just something doesn't roll down the pipe as well when it's not super hot outside. Jinbug doesn't know what fall is. She's our cactus girl. Yep, she doesn't know at all. Nope. Jinbug, do you still have your air conditioner on? I'm waiting on. Hobby Red Mustang said, I didn't say go OU. I still love you. It's okay. All's fair in love and football, isn't it? Speaking of all's fair in love, Dawn and Candace. Ouch. Seems like this time they're done. First, what I want to say is a very good friend of ours. Her name is Stacy Puri. You see her in here often. Had a horrible accident over the weekend. She has to, there she is, there's Stacy. She had a horrible accident over the weekend, and she is going to have back surgery. Now, I don't want to get too much into it because it's her business to tell, and I'm not going to tell tales out of school. I am sharing this with permission. What I need is for everyone to please send all the internet hugs and prayers that you can to our friend Stacy. She's going to have a very long road of recovery. But hey, she's got an amazing family. And if I do say so myself, she's got some pretty damn terrific friends. So, Stacy, we love you. God bless and get well, because this planet needs you, girlfriend. Oh, hold on. Miss North said, yeah, I doubt they are done unless Dawn got together with PG, just saying. Whew. I don't think PG would want to touch that. Nope. First, we're going to start with Ronnie Lawson and his retirement. There is a particular timeline going on we're going to discuss. I could be far-reaching. God forbid. I never do. Something is a brewing. Something is a ticking this time. But before we get to all of that, we have to all together sing happy birthday to Diana Howry. She turned 31 years old yesterday, ate herself a bundt cake, and had a great day. Happy birthday to our dear friend Diana. Woo! Starting out with a bang. Now, don't forget we have a show at noon today. It's going to be a short show. It's an update on the nasty ass people in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Stepdad got an 11-year-old, a 10-year-old actually pregnant, and she gave birth at home with absolutely no help. None. So we have a huge update on that today at noon. Please check it out. Set your reminders. Oh, Broken Golf Doll said, a short show is better than a shit show. Well, how about this? Let's say hello to everyone and welcome them to the shit show. That's right, we're live and shit. We are live and shit. Now, before we get to Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor breaking up, which a lot of people are calling a ruse, another grift, and there's a little bit more to it this time. If the rumors are true, Don has confirmed he sent her packing. He's done with her alcoholic ass and her lying mouth. Woo! Whew, that got me all tingly. But before that, let's talk about Ronnie Lawson. Okay. Now, about this time last month, on a regular Wednesday, out of the blue, an age progression photo was put up of Summer Wells. Very out of the blue, okay? Now, the internet geniuses said, Brooks, they have to do it every 2 years, Brooks. It's the law. It's the law. No, there is no law saying that you have to have even one age progression. I think this was to get the bees a-buzzing. Okay, then last week, we get hit with this bombshell. Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson to retire. The election is May 5th, 2026. So far, there is only one candidate. Okie doke. Sheriff Lawson has the most years of sheriff in Hawkins County history, as in ever. Ever. Okay? Ever. And he kept that post with a sex offender as a son. Part of Kingsport is in Hawkins County. News to me. I didn't realize that was that big. Let's start with Ronnie Lawson. I'm going to pick on one of my favorite creators, Common Sense True Crime, my friend Holly. She called out Ronnie Lawson years ago, as did many people, but I like her flair a little more.
Compared to the missing child case of Carly Trent in 2016. Carly Trent was 9 years old when she went missing on May 4th, 2016. She was missing 8 days before she was found. Her uncle, Gary Simpson, had allegedly picked her up from school one day and disappeared with Carly. Now, how Carly was found in that case has some very weird things in it that I have questions about, and I'll soon make a video on it.
Now, we did a live about Carly Trent, and did a case comparison between how Carly Trent's case was handled and the debacle that Summerwell's case has been. Chango's here. Chango said, brothers and sisters, we are gathered here today. Something is definitely brewing. Just time to plate it up. Too many strange things have happened in the last month. We expect some nonsense around Summer's birthday, do we not? We expect, no pun intended, for things to well up around the anniversary of her disappearance. But this is different. Candace, well, let's go back to Ronnie Lawson. My brain is everywhere because, again, I'm tingly.
But for now, I want to talk about how differently Summer's case has been handled by law enforcement compared to Carly's case. When Carly went missing, there were volunteers from the Hawkins County community that were allowed to search. Here's that video.
Looking at the face of Carly.
Hold on. Yelva, hope I'm saying your name right. Damn Andrew had Candace on his live again this morning as a wrench. Talk about betraying your son Hunter. Andrew, hey, you might as well get ready to marry Candace for all I care. Andrew was on our show about 3 weeks ago defending his decision to befriend Candace. And as you all know, I was on the phone with Andrew when he turned her in to Child Protective Services, and he was extremely graphic about what she did to Hunter. These people cannot make me barf enough. And my husband said it perfectly this morning. He said their nastiness, what they put out for the public to see, what they put out for the public to see is just the tip of the iceberg. To them, this is their best face forward. Imagine what they're like behind closed doors. Now, some people have no faith in the new sheriff coming in because I guess he has been an under-sheriff for Ronnie Lawson this whole time. So be it. So be it. Either way, the new sheriff hopefully gets something rolling in the case of Summer Wells. Because as we know, Ronnie Lawson, stepping down, has done dick all for over 4 years. He said, nah, there's no drug problem out there. All we've heard about is drugs. That's all we've heard about with these people. Good riddance, Ronnie.
Carly Trent. Family members are staying motivated. They'll see it again soon.
Nothing would make me happier than for her to come home safe.
You are right now.
A week into the search, the maps show there aren't many places left to search by car. The relatives are hopeful for clues off the main roads.
Hawkins County is a big county. It's easy to hide in the woods, especially if you're raising them, know them.
Whether it's been searched 1,000 times or not, we will search it again, and we hope to hit every single piece of this county before hopefully nightfall.
Where's the story shoved at?
Members of the search party are zeroing in on Gary Simpson's last known moves in public, looking at places like a Save-A-Lot grocery store where authorities say Gary Simpson and Carly Trent are seen on surveillance footage.
She just kind of just stood there. She didn't say anything or didn't smile or anything. To me, she looked sad.
The cashier says Simpson mostly bought food that wouldn't spoil, such as Vienna sausages, peanut butter and jelly, and bread.
He was loading the buggy, loading stuff out of the buggy onto the thing, and I may have asked him, how's your day today, and fine.
But even with very few leads a week later,
If y'all want to go ahead and go, you you can.
The spirits are still high.
I hoped that it wouldn't last this long, but it has lasted this long, and there are more people showing up every time that we do a search.
And family members say they'll use every means possible to bring Carly home.
They'll be searching by foot, by vehicle, everything that you can possibly imagine. If we could get an airplane in here, we would.
I'm not going to stop looking until she is home or she is found.
Carly's mama, if we could get an airplane in here, we would. Well, they did have an airplane for summer. A very special strategic airplane that can see and penetrate through rock. The director of the TBI went in front of the state Senate asking for additional funds because he wanted that plane to penetrate through caves and rock. Difference is they found Carly Trent and they're fumbling around with Summer. You know, new blood gets the heart pumping.
And flyers like these are covering the city of Rogersville. This one put out by family members about a larger search party that they're going to be putting on Saturday. They hope it does not come to that, but if it does, they are ready to search much larger areas and even expand their search into multiple counties. But tonight, the search does continue. Robin and John will.
Okay, so you can see from this flyer that they showed in the beginning of the video I just played that everyone, they put on there, everyone urged to come help and search. So obviously from this video and from that, it looks like the whole community was invited to come help and to come search. This has not been the case with Summer. Okay, so this is a news article from WATE. It says that the rescue squad has released a list of supplies needed for the search efforts, while volunteers are not needed. They did not want people from the community searching. I've also heard this from locals that I know of who wanted to help with searching, and law enforcement turned them away. And then at one point, pretty soon, July 28th, the Hawkins County Sheriff has now let people know that if you want to search for Summer Wells, if it's not requested by the police for you to search, then you have to get approval from Ronnie Lawson. So it appears that the law enforcement of Hawkins County were not happy.
Now, in all fairness, because I'm going back in the time machine, I was super pissed about this. But since then, we've heard other cases where they have said, please search your own property. Don't go out on your own because we don't need to find another person. He also put a statement out saying, if you can't search your own property, we will have someone out there to do it for you. So I definitely overreacted on that one. I'm just trying to be fair, okay? For Summer.
With EquuSearch. I believe EquuSearch on the second search they came and did.
And they did get permission, but Dawn gave them hell the whole time.
Hawkins County got really mad because they had told the sheriff's office that they would let them know where they had searched and what they had found. And after that, Hawkins County came out and said they kept it all to themselves. They didn't share information. So, you know, they're not coming back. Like, we don't appreciate that. And honestly, I mean, it's EquuSearch. They're wonderful.
They do amazing things. People beg for their help. Beg for their help. Look at what EquuSearch did for Audrey Cunningham in Texas. The list goes on and on and on.
They're volunteers. Like, they're good at this. They're professionals. And now they're not going to be able to come back because of this. Honestly, and I can't even really believe that as professional a group as they are, they wouldn't have given the information. Are they looking, is Hawkins County Sheriff's Office looking for a reason?
Besides Dawn being a total dickwad to Dave Radar, Ronnie Lawson was even worse. He told him, you're wasting your time. Now, obviously, Ronnie is not going to share with a private search company on what they know. But if you're truly working together and you want answers, why don't you give them a little heads up to where they should search?
Not to have them search? Anyway, to sum this up, it could be on purpose for some nefarious reason. But the obvious reason would be they already know that Summer's dead. Now, why they continue TBI and such to come and search right around the house, and then not let people do it, it just looks weird to me. And you know, we need people out there. I mean, it's a huge amount of land, and we need as many people's eyes as we can get. Why are they keeping people away from searching? It's very strange. It's not what they did with the Carly Trent case. We know that. And it doesn't look right. Not at all. That's it for me, guys. Have a wonderful weekend.
Can we have a round of applause for Holly? Because she put it together years ago. She is awesome. And now, old Ronnie's stepping down and shit's heating up. Old Candace was kicked the F off of 110 Ben Hill Road. Now, Don has said for years that him, Candace, and law enforcement don't see eye to eye. Imagine that. Well, not only is Candace packing her bags, she went on some drunken rant the other night. She took it down. People keep saying Prayer Garden has it, but I can't find it. I got a couple clips of it, and even the closed captions couldn't make any sense. Yeah, Donnie don't want me no more. Donnie don't want me no more. I only got 3 cigarettes, and Donnie don't want me no more. Yeah, Donnie don't want me no more. Donnie don't want me no more. Angel on Earth said Candace is also mad at Jinkies. You know why? I can only guess. Probably because Jinkies won't share things like this. This is from Can's channel. And this isn't for the Broken Fucking Door Fund. She said, there's her PayPal. You guys are welcome to screenshot it, blow it up, send her some moolah if you want. Can't said, only if you want to help me start again. Here's my PayPal. And that was part of her rant. Donnie don't want me no more. Donnie don't want me no more. So he's giving her 3 cigarettes, a $20 bill, and telling her, get the fuck out. Really makes you wonder what is really going on. Put a 1 in chat if you think this is another grift. Or a 2 if you really think that this time it's over. Again, there's the PayPal. Oh, everyone's saying one. They think they're still together. Well, I know some people are very brokenhearted about this. It reminded me of this show I used to watch years ago. Remember Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson? They have that show, Newlyweds. And they were just the cutest couple. I mean, America's couple. Everybody just thought they were so funny. Then they broke up and were like, Nick and Jessica broke up? Look at that. Already people extending the olive branch. Look at Holly. I can't give her money, but I can tell her how she can get 3 hots and a cot for free. That's how you become a friend. Thank you, Holly. Thank you. So for those that don't remember, there's a lot of people that are very brokenhearted about the Nick and Jessica of the Holler. White Boy's upset. Benny Keys has come out of hiding. Many people are like, reach out to me, Candace. I know you all can work this out. Candace, we know this has to do with YouTube. It has nothing to do with drug use, alcohol abuse, child sex abuse, nothing like that. So here is how some of these people see Dawn and Candace. Because I'm telling you, they are beside themselves upset. Never thought they'd break up. And now here we are. Dawn and Candace, the people we thought would always make it work. Damn it. Damn it. How can this be? I swear. Well, according to the people that know them best, it is Dunsville. Dawn doesn't want her alcoholic, stinky ass around him anymore. He did give her $20 and some change to play coin pusher and 3 cigarettes. Okay? That's what you get after all those years. Now, Benny is back. Benny is back. And before people start going, oh my God, Benny. He does know him very well. Very well. And what really surprised me about his clip yesterday is how well adjusted he seems. Because personally, I like when people are doing better. Okay? But the people coming out of the woodwork tells me this could be for real. And Benny looks very healthy. Now, I thought he was never supposed to be on social media again. Not my business. But he is reaching out to Dawn and Candace. All right? So, say what you want. He's trying to be their marriage counselor. Okay?
Good evening. I want to give you my take on another subject. So I'm behind the times on so many things.
He looks totally different. And for that, I'm very happy.
But about 9 days ago, it is brought to my attention that Miss Wells, I guess the going theory or the going rate is that Candace has apparently or allegedly, I hate using that word, I feel like it gets so overused, but apparently has left 110 and moved down to Georgia somewhere. Now,
Who the hell took her in Georgia? This is the third time she hightailed it to Georgia. Who on earth is taking her in? However, Benny was confided in. Okay? That's all I know. I wasn't part of the conversation. Ooh, interesting. Seaglass said, isn't Grandis in Georgia? I don't know. Angel Pete. Who is in Georgia? Magoo lives in Georgia. Magoo, is Candace with you? Scooby Magoo. Magoo, 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 where are you? We got some work for you now. Magoo might know.
I hate using that word. I feel like it gets so overused. But apparently has left 110 and moved down to Georgia somewhere. Now, let me preface that by saying that I wish the best for Don and Candace. Whether they can work it out between the two of them or they're separate, whatever the case may be. And I kind of want to tiptoe around the subject because, again, I'm not here to create drama or anything like that. But as you'll see here,
Candace Bly won. She said, only if you want to help me start again. PayPal. Where's old friend Kathy? Where's friend Kathy? Kathy lives, as I remember correctly, I could be wrong, outside of Greenville, Tennessee. And let's not forget, there's Summer I Love, kayaking, weenie roasts, s'mores.
Candace is soliciting the YouTube constituency for help in helping her start up her life. Granted, I think that there are a number of people that support them emotionally and mentally, but there's been a long standing financial support from the YouTube community. And
now I can say this hands down. I have never given them a dime. I did not contribute to the reward fund. If you guys remember back in the fall of 2021, when people were very mad at me, and I was a new channel, new. Not the old Krusty Brooks that you're listening to right now. When they said, you need to come to the telethon. We're raising money for summer's reward. And I said, no. It is not organized. The money's going to wind up in the wrong hands. I didn't even accuse Don and Candace of it. And guess what? It did. It did. And they drugged me like a motherfucker. Brooks doesn't care. We know her real name. We know what she looks like. And she won't help with the reward fund. And I'm like, have I ever tried to hide my name? Good God. But he's right. They have had a lot of financial help. Okay?
Been a long standing financial support from the YouTube community. And although I wish her the best in all of her travels and all of her future endeavors. You just kind of, you know, I think that the laymen, they ask themselves, like, kind of, when is enough, right? You know, the YouTube has financed particular portions of their lifestyle over the past 3-4 years. I know that even, sorry for the noise, I know that even I played a part in that, with leaving Christmas money and the like. So I don't really know, you know, what the overall community's response to it is, or even maybe how many people know. I, however, am 9 or 10 days late to the party. So
No, and I don't expect Benny to tell exactly who told him or when it was made to him. But again, we're talking about a timeline. You know how I am with time. We had the picture of summer that came out last month. Ronnie Lawson's retirement that came out last week. And right before that is when people that are, I would say, on friendly terms with Dawn and Candace were told that Dawn kicked her off the mountain. Bye. 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 Now, many people are encouraging us to PayPal Candace. That's not how marriages dissolve. You see, that's when Candace says, no, Dawn, I need you to send me so much money a month till I get back on my feet. You know, like get a job. We know she can't work at Walmart because she's not allowed at any Walmart anywhere in the world. She's on the government watch list for terroristic threats that she made at a Walmart. However, there's other things she can do. She mentioned to one person she could start a house cleaning business. Now then, is there anybody in Georgia besides Magoo that needs a housekeeper? Mallory said, I wouldn't let her ass in my house. Susan said, no, thank you. Stacy's in Georgia. She said, hell no. She did a great job on her own home, didn't she? Mallory, hell nah. Nah. Virginia Wolf, Angel P said, wouldn't even touch that. Just Me said, no, I saw her work. Holly doesn't want a housekeeper. Real Rock and Robin said she could not clean my dog's house. Sal said, oh my God, now that's funny, Brooks. She got fired from her last housekeeping job, and Daisy kept saying it's because people were harassing. I'm like, no, she did shit work. She did shit work. Poppy said, oh shit, I clean seasonal homes in Northeast Georgia. Oh Lord. Well, you might run into Can't. By the way, that's a hard job to do, and those people make money. There's a friend of mine, and she cleans bed and breakfasts around the lake, and it is very meticulous. And I'm talking, they expect white glove clean, okay? Coin pusher, it's not in her metabolism.
Response to it is, or even maybe how many people know. I, however, am 9 or 10 days late to the party. So for me, it's sort of it makes, I don't know, the way I think about it is sort of like you're surprised, but at the same time you're not, right? You know, and then I think with the level of foolery, we'll just put it that way, the level of foolery that has been able to just be ate up for public consumption. You know, I think that I've talked to some people and they wonder, are they even split up? You know, and I don't know, it's not my business. However, I'm just giving my take on a situation. Now, the second part of my take is on, it's actually on a comment that Mr. Wells left on a WJHL video, and I will post the comment here momentarily. And I'll put the video in the description or maybe in the comments. Anyhow, the title to the video from WJHL.com is "Longtime Hawkins County Sheriff Won't Seek Re-Election." Now, to speak on that, like I think that, you know, it's depending on who you ask. Lawson has either had an illustrious career or he's had one, you know, just sort of littered with different issues, whether it be other high-profile cases.
Hold on. Diva said, Brooks, did you see Leslie Mimack post on what Candace told PG? No. Let me scroll up. What did Leslie say? There's Holly. I can see Candace stealing from homes instead of cleaning them. Way to go. Charlie said, Candace, a housekeeper. Where are you, Leslie? What did Leslie say? Leslie said, please don't cash app that person who is responsible for Summer's demise, in my opinion. Okay. Is that what PG said? Okay, let's go back to what Dawn put in the article about Ronnie Lawson retiring. Dawn Wells says, and they still do nothing to stop their reign of terror, kidnapping children from their parents. But now, according to Dawn and according to Candace, Candace is gone. Austin! She said, and in my opinion, the only reason Pandrew is entertaining Candace is for attention. He thinks he'll get more money off her being around. And I can tell Candace a little secret. If you think you're going to flash your Cash App or your PayPal on Andrew's channel, you're wrong, girlfriend. You're wrong. Because everything goes to Andrew. He is not going to crowdsource for you. You thought other creators stole from your ass? Wait till you see this heist. You're an idiot. And you know what? Dogs get fleas. Okay? They do.
Now, to speak on that, like I think that, you know, it's depending on who you ask. Lawson has either had an illustrious career or he's had one, you know, just sort of littered with different issues, whether it be other high-profile cases, you know, his own son's situation with all of the special prosecutor stuff, the registry, you know, having a whole prison sentence, basically. I don't even know that it was suspended. It just, he was given probation, right? And I think that the classification of him as an offender, probably is high. He was offending against people at his church, so on and so forth. Now, in the comments of this video, Don Wells says, and they still do nothing to stop their reign of terror, kidnapping children from their parents for money. Now, some of us will remember, some of us won't. And for the ones that don't remember, Don was very specific about pretty much being the driving force. I can't remember the exact vernacular he used, but he sort of applauded himself and tapped himself on the back for being the reason why the three boys were temporarily at that point put into the foster system, right? Now, you kind of see this turning of the leaf, so to speak, where it goes from him being, the dad of the year. It's dangerous on the hill. They've already taken Summer, and now he's,
I never bought that story that it was Don's idea that the boys would go with CPS. No. Because he begged them when they came to take the boys to give them to his sister Sonia. Well, she's crazier than a shithouse rat. They weren't about to do that.
Wants to put his sons, so to speak, into a protective custody for their own good. Only now, and not only now, but throughout the course, he's used the word kidnapping and so on and so forth. However, there was a very clear-cut path, and I believe it was a 6-month sort of plan, a family safety plan, whatever you want to call it, where they could take care of the issues with the home, such as exposed electrical wires, maybe some of the unwanted pests and bugs and things, and of course to be entered into some sort of drug or alcohol program. In fact, many of you may remember when I was there, I had actually escorted Don with one of the private investigators to a local rehab for him to go inpatient. The reality of it was that he was told that he wouldn't be able to smoke cigarettes there. Now, whether that was a misunderstanding or whether that was their, a no tobacco rule, I can't really remember. But that was the driving force as to why Donald left the inpatient rehab, was he wasn't going to be able to smoke cigarettes. So you kind of bundle all that and frame it with, now he's talking about.
Okay. And Kathy checked Candace into a rehab. And Candace said people there were inappropriate. Okay. Try to digest that. Try to digest Candace saying people were being inappropriate and that the medication made her feel weird. Well, that's the difference between street drugs and pharmaceuticals. Okay? Good old Kathy, the friend, went and scooped her up and said, "Oh, so I rehabbed her myself." Sure. Excuse after excuse after excuse. And now they're screaming, well, Dawn is, Candace isn't, about their children.
The system, or rather almost specifically, as you can see, that Ronnie Lawson had something to do with his children being kidnapped for this reign of terror, taking children for money. Now, also remembering that part of the 6-month plan was that Don and Candace were both equally supposed to pay a child support, which did not happen. So,
According to Kathy, she paid it for him. Okay? According to Kathy, she paid it for him.
my question to, I guess, Don specifically is, there's funds and state things in order to pay for children who are not being taken care of financially by their own parents. And so where do we think this money comes from, right? It comes from the John Q. and Sally Q. taxpayer. So I have to say that when I initially saw the comment from Don, I was, a little bit let down by it, I guess. I could say that. But now I'm going to show you what the comments look like now. Don has since went back and retracted that comment, so it is no longer there. Now one might speculate why. Only Don would know that. So,
well, think about it. Don took his own comment down and kicked Candace out. Don took down the Reign of Terror comment about Ronnie Lawson and kicked Candace out. That comment is gone. Too many things have been going on for the last month.
I guess in closing, that's really my take on it. And again, I really want to reiterate that, I wish the best for Don and Candace, for their boys. And number one, to find Summer wherever she is. So take it or leave it. It's probably not worth a grain of salt, but that's my take.
Okay. A lot of well wishes, hoping they can work it out. It's crazy. When I saw this, I just about lost my lunch. Only if you want to help me start again. Only if you want to help me start again. This is what she needs to post on her channel. The new investigative division, Josh Melton, said, TBI has yet to find evidence concluding that Summer was abducted or that she ran away. Some would say wandered off. Now we know in another chat, here was Candace. When she was all hopped up on piss and vinegar, she goes, if I was guilty, why am I not in jail? Okay. Crime takes time. Crime takes time, my friend. It takes a long time to solve. Then Can't said, I had a friend tell me it took them 10 years in Hawkins County to solve, she means solve, their father's death. Sad. Okay, Candace. So you're saying that Summer's dead? You're saying Summer's dead. All right, we're going to go in the time machine to when Don decided to jump up and confront Chris McDana, who's never believed their asses, and Josh from the lab. I need a video that says we're going in the time machine.
If nothing else, I'll see her in the resurrection. As long as I keep the commandments and I do what I'm supposed to do, I'll see her in the commandments, if that's the case.
Okay, so let's stop. So we know for sure that 29 days into this, if we use a 30-day calendar month, Summer, in his mind, is not alive.
or Candace's.
Right. So that's what, 29 days. That's 3 weeks post her disappearance. Yep. That's correct. So we're 2 years, or we're almost 2 years into this now.
22 months or so. Yes.
Okay, obviously, this is in the time machine.
There's no link. I sent it to you. Oh my God. Here. This link is for Dawn and Dawn only. I sent it to your, I don't know. You probably blocked me again or something. I don't know. I don't know. But I'll drop it here. Okay, and then we'll just keep going.
Yeah, keep going. It's a game.
So is it going to be just kind of back to business when school starts and the kids are going to go back? Yeah, we ain't got the choice. We don't have a choice, you know. I was just wondering if there was maybe any kind of fear or concern just to let them out of your sight after. Well, yeah, definitely. We was sending them down, you know, to the school bus by themselves, you know, but I don't think we're.
Common Sense True Crime said, I believe at the Cold Case Foundation, Chris included, they could have solved it in less than a month. I tell you what the Cold Case Foundation did for our friend Stacy Jones in the case of Michaela Jones. If you missed it, we have a whole playlist. A girl murdered in Missouri, but the sheriff kept calling it an overdose. They cracked that shit real quick. It wasn't obviously the outcome that Stacy and the family wanted, but it's still a work in progress. Because remember, crime takes time, justice is slow. What Chris McDana did in the case of Michael Vaughn, he handed the DA the keys to the kingdom. However, the DA isn't doing shit with him. He had it all figured out, all of it. He was in the house when Stacey Wandra was giving his confession. Yes. He definitely could help, but he's going to ask questions that old Cant's not going to be able to answer. Like, why were you getting drugs from Fred the afternoon that Summer went missing? And what exactly did you say to Chad Arnold? So that's one time TBI said that they know she left the house. Why did you take off again instead of look around your own house or in the woods for your daughter? Because TBI said to Dawn, we need you to talk to her about her timeline because we know she left the property 2 more times after they returned home. Now, one thing I agree with many of you on is that I'm not quite sure that the boys even saw Summer that day. You see, Candace has something besides her scare tactics. It's called the power of suggestion. Make sure when they get here, you tell them you saw your sister. Make sure when they get here, you tell them you saw your sister. I've always believed that they probably didn't see her that day. But she could mess with their minds enough to think that they did. It will be very interesting when they're old enough to recollect that day. Like, exactly what time were you all sent down to the creek to look for Summer? Was it before or after the 911 call?
So we'll ever do that again. Mm-hmm. Do they get picked up at the end of your road there on Beach Creek? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And of course, you're back to work, and the kids are going back to school. So it seems like there's no choice but to try to return to some sort of normalcy within this horrible event.
Exactly. Yeah, well, I'm not going to let Satan convince me to go drinking or whatever. You know, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going down that road. I choose life.
Mm-hmm.
Choose God. You know, and that's probably, you know, I've never.
Stop that. Rewind that again. Did he say, I choose life? She's gone? Did I hear that correctly, or did I just miss that?
Let me see here.
There's no choice but to try to return to some sort of normalcy within this horrible event.
Exactly. Yeah, well, I'm not going to let Satan convince me to go drinking or whatever. You know, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going down that road. I choose life.
Mm-hmm.
Choose God.
So I choose life. I choose God.
Okay, I choose God. Okay, go ahead.
You know, and that's probably, you know, I've never, you know, before in my life I was weaker, and just the least little thing would be the excuse to go get drunk. Not no more. Not. And this is the most horrific thing that I could have ever even thought of happening.
Mm-hmm.
So,
has your theory about what happened to Summer changed any since we spoke a couple weeks ago?
Can you just turn your camera on for 1 second, please? And then you can turn it right off. Cool, gotcha. Thanks. You can turn it off now. Hey, Don.
How y'all doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I just listened to this crap over and over and over for 2 years.
Wow. Just listen to all this crap over and over and over. Just listen to all this crap over and over and over. Well, that crap is people advocating for your daughter who is missing. What, you want a resurrection channel? You want me to pretend like I'm Joel Osteen and just say, don't worry about it. Police, sit back. TBI, don't worry about it, because there's always a resurrection. No. Listen to all this crap over and over and over. Listen to all this crap.
It's getting old.
He said that. Just listen to that. He goes, it's getting old. It's getting old. Now look at McDonough's face. Like, what? What? It's getting old?
Well, yeah, I mean, I could understand that from your point of view. We're going over a phone call. Do you remember this? It wasn't a phone call. It was actually an interview. Do you remember this interview?
I don't know. I don't remember who it is. I mean, you know.
Jeff Boban, I believe his name is.
Yeah, we had a lot of interviews we shouldn't have had interviews with. McDonough's the worst one.
Well, he's right here. You can tell him if you want.
I know he's right there. I should have never done anything with him.
What did he do? Let me just ask you really fast to be and be completely fair and honest. What did he do?
I don't know why he's the way he is. I mean,
no, it's not about. I'm asking, what did he do?
Well, I don't understand why y'all going over this for 2 years straight. How does this?
I had to mute myself because I did one of those cackling laughs, you know, when you find something so funny, and there's nothing funny about this case, and I mean nothing. But when Don's like, McDonough's the worst one, McDonough's the worst one, and there's Chris just like, yeah, okay, I'll be all right. I mean, you know, he's not exactly invited to my birthday party. I don't know why you guys keep talking about this. Like, in their minds, Don and Candace, this is old news. This is old news. There's nothing to talk about. They said it from the get. She's not coming back. So why you keep talking about it? Because you won't. Because you do not advocate for your daughter. Something could be changing now. that Candace got 3 cigarettes and a $20 bill and was told to get the F out of 110 Ben Hill Road. Time will tell. I don't trust anything they say.
I mean, like a witch hunting for every little clue. And I know I get it. It's about your YouTube channel, and that's really what it amounts to. And that's fine. That's fine, but hey, I thought you took off on a flight. Hold on. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Hold on a minute. I will. Okay. Just give me a little few minutes. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Yeah, I don't understand, how all this helps find summer or anything else, And everybody bitches because I'm not out, looking constantly for her. Well, damn, send me money where I can go look for her 24/7, and that's what I'll do. Because
Hence why I'm in the time machine playing this from over 2 years ago. He said, just send me money. Send me money, and I'll look for her 24/7. Oh, okay. Didn't people try that with Seth Rogers, Sebastian Rogers' father? Till finally they realized all he was doing was driving around smoking and eating Whoppers from the Burger King. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You want to help a family out? Help them out. But this send me money. I will look for her 24/7. Then I look at this that can't put up. Her PayPal. Only if you want to help me start again. The boy that cried wolf. The boy that cried wolf. Don't get me wrong. They have a huge problem on their hands. A huge problem. They have 3 children that have been taken from their custody. 2 were adopted. 1 is up for adoption. They don't even know their children's new names. I'm very surprised that the adoptive parents haven't pressed charges or asked authorities to press charges for continuing to post pictures of their children. Their children. I mean, the adoptive family. They have a missing daughter. So yes, they have huge problems. Send me money. I'll search 24/7. Oh, okay. Yeah. Ask Sebastian Rogers how that worked when his father received a shit ton of money.
ain't nobody sent me no damn money. Ever. And nobody sends my wife money like everybody wants to think. That's not true. I have to work for a living.
We weren't talking. I wasn't even covering that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. A lot of people say stuff like that. I'm not saying you're saying that, but
I wasn't. I'm not interested in her really. I'm not interested really with Candace and Kathy's relationship.
Right.
We're just talking about this interview. To be honest.
Right. I don't know which interview it is. A lot of times, when people do interviews, and Chris McDana is good at it to push the narrative and everything and twist everything up. Y'all are good at that stuff. You got good at that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying. Okay. Yeah.
Let me ask you though. What did McDonough do to you that you feel is so egregious? I really am truly curious because all he did was do an interview with your wife and that was agreed to and play it.
Yeah, and he acted like a snake when he went to my house. Oh, he's hiding in the shed. Oh, they're watching porn on the TV and all kinds of bullshit like that, like he does.
Well, I don't think he did say that it wasn't porn.
Chris McDonough was not in your dungeon watching porn. Okay? That's all you have to think of. Baby Kisses, you are such a sweet person. She said, I sent Seth $30 when I found out He sent some floozy in Texas money. Never again. Gotta watch it. Gotta watch it. Good hearts crumble fast. You did nothing wrong, baby kisses. But those that said they were taking money to look for missing children, well, in my opinion, it's a crime. I did not mean to cross cases, but in my opinion, it's a crime.
Well, I don't know. That's what I remember. Something like that, you know.
Okay, we'll clear it up right now. Were you in the shed?
Well, hell no.
Okay,
I was
then. Fair enough.
Did Candace call you from the dollar store?
Hell, I don't know what to say that's about. I have no idea.
Then how do you know I said the porn thing?
Well, I seen it on your YouTube channel. I watched it.
Well, I didn't know what it was. It was Girls Gone Wild, right?
No, it was not, because you
What
could
was
see the screen on your
What?
you could see the screen when you said that.
Well,
And it was not Girls Gone Wild. Whatever you know what I don't know. I'm not sure what it was, but
You still there?
He's still, yeah, I think he's probably going through a.
Yeah, he's at a bad.
someone's blowing my phone up now because they don't want me talking. I guess.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about summer, because I think I could still help you.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay, so Chris McDana is basically going bing, 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 like Teflon, throwing out all the insults and what Don's trying to accuse him of. He switches gears and says, well, let's talk about summer, because I think I can still help you. And what does Don say? Whoa. Whoa.
Out of respect for each other.
I think he's going in and out of reception.
People are going to stop him to talk to me, and I have no idea why. Because he wants to talk to me, evident of the fact that he came up.
Right. Well,
So I'm here to talk. I'm here to help.
And we weren't even talking about. I'm not talking about the money thing that they were been accused of
That's
today.
another day for them.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
I agree 100% with Chris McDana. I agree 100% with Josh. It's not anyone's business how anyone spends their money. But I think we can all side-eye it when people like Candace and people like Seth Rogers take people's hard-earned money and they piss it away.
Yeah.
It's probably
Go ahead, Don. You're back.
I'm not. You can't hear me.
Yeah, you're back, man. Go ahead.
You can hear me right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Okay, because I can't hear it, and I'm not even on StreamYard. That's weird. I think Doug Um's blowing my phone up.
Who?
Well, we don't really need to say his name.
Oh,
yeah. Of course he is. Isn't that the guy that got arrested in the Orrin and Orson search?
I have no idea. They're all criminals.
Yeah. Anyway, I know he did actually for something.
So, Don, if you can hear me, let's talk about it. You want to talk about it. I know you do. And I want to listen. Okay, well, let's keep playing the stuff while he figures it out.
No, she was abducted.
Well, during the police interviews and everything else, they they the police took my boys to specialists because they can't just outright question them because they're underage. And they talk to them, and I've talked to them, and they feel bad. They feel like it's their fault, even. But
He is telling, believe it or not, it's a miracle. You all ready for a miracle? A miracle on a Tuesday, just a regular old Tuesday. Dawn is telling the truth. Case after case after case after case. When there are minor children in the house, they are assigned a guardian ad litem, and a specialist speaks with them. Okay? We have talked about it in the case of the 11-year-old in Muskogee, Athena Brownfield, Michael Vaughn, Gannon Stout. I can't even tell you how many others. Quentin Simon. And they can't keep questioning them because it becomes power of suggestion. So when people say, I wish the boys would talk, I wish the boys would talk, I wish the boys would talk, I wish the boys would talk. I got you. I understand. I think the mind fuck that their mother put on them had them to the point where they would admit anything. I really do. I am still of the opinion that they never saw Summer that day. She took her by the hand, walked her from Grandis's camper inside the house, then 2 minutes later came back and asked the boys, where's your sister? Oh, she's downstairs playing with her toys. And then she knew right then, when she went down to the dungeon, she was just gone. Just gone. Bullshit. Bullshit. Thank you so much, Yelva. Thank you so much for the super sticker. You have no idea how much that means to me.
I try to assure them that.
Why would they think it's their fault? Just because they were the last ones to see Summer?
They're going to keep blowing up my phone. I don't know why they do this.
That's all right.
Because like you say, they're more concerned about what they're doing. But
right.
why did they or why do they feel guilty?
Okay, well, let me explain. Because, okay, Summer asked them to please go downstairs. And then she wanted to go downstairs and play with toys. And they wanted to play their games, which I understand. They all had phones and games, and they was watching that building. I can't remember what it's called, where you build stuff on the TV. I don't know what it's called, but
probably Minecraft.
Yes, Minecraft. That's it. Yes,
Minecraft is what we used to call it.
Right.
But go ahead.
But yeah, so she went downstairs by herself, and next thing you know, Candace comes in after helping her mother. That's her words. I wasn't there. I'm going by what she said.
Okay.
But also, I'm going by what my boys said. Okay.
Did she fall down the stairs, Don?
No.
Okay. Could she have?
Even if she did, I had some side barriers and stuff, and.
And I'm not saying she did. I said even if, like you just said, even if she did, you had side barriers. But could she? Even
if she did, I mean, she's a tough girl. I mean, kids are pretty tough, when they're young.
Had she ever fallen down those stairs before?
No.
Ever?
No, man. She could get around good. She's very smart and very agile.
Okay.
No.
So she wants to go downstairs to play with stuff. Then what?
Well, as far as we know, I mean, Mom come in looking for her. They couldn't find her nowhere. They looked for a while, and couldn't find her, and she called me, and I says, hang up for me, call 911 right away, just in case, you can't find her right away or whatever, just to make sure, call 911. And when I got off the phone with her, as soon as she hung up, I called 911 from where I was at, and they had to switch me over from the 911 operator to the 911 operator in Hawkins County.
Mm-hmm.
And I flew home as fast as I could.
Right.
He's telling the truth, believe it or not. Don is telling the truth. From where he was, I believe it's Johnson City, they had to patch him in to Hawkins. Now, you can't tell me that Candace couldn't get a 911 signal. Don did it. And trust me, I'm not making Don out to be a hero. What he didn't know is that Candace had been, Fred the newlywed, hanging out with him, mathed out Laura, and Chad Arnold getting her fix. So what happened when she left? We know she called Marlena Crawford and said Summer was missing. 2 hours later, she called Dawn and said, Summer's missing. Odd.
And then when I got there, I drove straight to the bottom property just because I know I have a good view of the hill, and I seen my neighbor to the left of me. I seen all three of my boys to the right of me together, like I told them, always be together. If you're going to be out off the hill anyway. And when I seen that they were down on the bottom property, basically looking around, and she wasn't on top of the hill, I figured she wasn't there. And then that's when it got real crazy. I drove up to the top of the hill, and there was like 1 or 2 police cars there at that time. And of course, they're questioning us. They're doubting. I felt in my heart right then that she was taken.
What were they doubting?
Well, I was trying to tell them that I don't think she's here. I think she's been taken, because if she wouldn't leave the top of the hill, she wouldn't leave from around the house.
Mm-hmm.
I had her pretty well. I mean, I showed all my kids videos on YouTube of because we got grizzly bears, we got wild dogs and other things. And so I was worried so I showed them things to try to put a scare into them, not to wander off. And Summer would not wander off by herself. No way.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
So when Candace went down the first time, it sounds like she went looking for Summer.
She got in her mother's truck.
Did she go into the basement?
Well, yeah, she looked all over it first, of course.
And that's when she called you.
Yeah, when she couldn't find her right away, she called me.
Okay, was the door open or closed, if you remember? Was it locked?
Well, I wasn't there, and we try to keep that basement door locked.
Okay, because people have said that you're the only one with the key.
Wide open all the time.
Right, but people have said you're the one.
No,
go ahead.
There is no key to the basement door. I think we lost that.
Okay, what about the deadbolt, brother?
Well, we just locked the regular lock. We don't lock.
Exactly, peas in a pod. Candace looked under a bed that sat on the floor, on a concrete cold floor. And we've seen their mattresses. Bears, snakes, we tell them not to go in the woods. But your wife ran out there to feed some damn raccoons potato salad. Dumbasses.
We'll lock the deadbolt if we're in the house. We can lock the deadbolt from the inside on the basement. We use the upstairs door if we're going somewhere or whatever and lock that one.
Okay, that morning when you woke up to go to work,
Right.
Was that door opened or closed, or locked or open?
I assume it was locked because we lock the doors at night,
Okay, so at some point then, if you're assuming it was locked that morning, which way did you go out that door, or did you go back out through the kitchen to go to work?
I go upstairs.
Kat, are you reading my mind? Are you looking at my notes again? Are you cheating off my paper? That was my next point. Dawn didn't have to be physically there to be part of a plan. Dawn did not have to be there. Dawn was one that said he is not going back to prison. Dawn is the one that said he hopes whoever did it doesn't go to prison because he knows what prison's like. Dawn was freaked the F out when CPS came to the house on the 14th. And listen, you could sell ice to an Eskimo faster than convincing me that they made a mad dash to the holler to confront them about boys with BB guns. Bullshit. And then say, we will be back and you have to produce Summer. Their words, not mine. Anyone live in a rural community? BB guns are extremely popular. They get varmints out of your garden. They get things out of your attic. They are not going to work that hard to say, hey, about a damn BB gun. No. No.
We go to the kitchen to get in my truck and head to work.
Okay, so you go to work, but that day you didn't take your truck, right?
Yeah, I've used the Subaru the day before.
Mm-hmm.
I had fired Dudley because I was sure he was on meth and acting all crazy and stuff. I mean, just out of his mind. And I even looked on YouTube as to how people act when they're on meth, and he fit every single one of them.
Well done, dude.
Well,
come on, man. You've seen 1,000 people on meth, bro. You don't have to look on YouTube
yeah.
for that one, buddy. Come on. That's like a cop looking around for donuts in a donut shop and not knowing what they look like. Come on.
You hear me? Hey.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, what are we laughing about? Hey, I don't deal with meth.
No, I didn't say you. I said
you've seen meth. You've seen people on meth before.
Seen people on meth. I mean, it's kind of crazy to look on YouTube. So that, and when I said, yeah, go ahead.
Well, you tend to forget after a while, if unless it's something you're dealing with all the time, you forget little things like that. But I knew he was out of his damn mind. And
yeah, just kind of like when Candace was talking about Cam from Cracking Cases, who, by the way, has had a lot of stuff to say lately. And actually, for some reason, seems to blame the Wells for the hell that their kids are in right now. She flat out said that Cam was at their house and was snoring pills. We know what she means, snorting pills. And she didn't like it. She didn't like Cam not sharing with her. Okay? Dawn getting upset with Dudley because he's all hopped up on the math is probably because Dudley looked like a damn spider monkey and was out working the hell out of Dawn because people on meth are going 90 to nothing. 90 to nothing. He was probably pissed he didn't have any. Woo! It's getting moist. It's getting moist in here, and I don't mean you ladies. Hearing Dawn's voice, it's raining memberships.
Saying all kinds of crazy stuff, and he couldn't do his job. And anyway, I don't want to talk about that dude. Anyway,
Okay. All right, that's fine.
It's been proven that he just got busted. You know, for all the charges he's got. That's
Right.
all the proof I need.
All drugs, no problem. So let's get back to you decide to take the car that day.
I took it the day before, I think, because I've been driving my truck for a long time. We went through this already. I just wanted to put some miles on the Subaru. So.
Oh, okay. So you wanted to drive the Subaru, and you loaded it up with all your stuff.
The day before, and the day before, we had actually had a welfare case where somebody called and said I was letting the kids run around with loaded guns, which was totally idiotic and stupid. So they closed that case the day before. That night, about 7 p.m., they was out there and closed the case. And the very next day, Summer come on missing. But anyway, back to what you're saying.
No, that's fine. So
he said it. He said it, not me. They were there on the 14th. It wasn't over BB guns. Quit that bullshit. They closed the case. Bullshit. He goes in and Summer went missing the next day. He says it so matter-of-factly.
somebody had snitched you off that there was a CPS problem of some sort?
No, they said we was letting the kids run around with loaded guns.
Okay. Well, and CPS worked through that. We don't need to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, they closed that case the day before.
Okay, that's cool. So let's go back to that morning. What time do you wake up?
As soon as the sun hits me, you know, I don't set an alarm because I usually work late. So as soon as the sun hits me and it's morning time, I just get up and go and work as late as I can.
And are you working 7 to 3 or what's your typical hours?
I usually get up and when I go, I work till I just can't stand, hardly walk no more or whatever. I work as late as I can, try to, you know, make good money. You know?
What's the earliest you wake up?
Well, maybe 6 or 7. I'm not sure.
Okay.
You know, summertime, June, probably about 7.
Okay, so about 7 o'clock in the morning, you get up, you go out.
Strumming banjo. How's the sun hitting him in the basement? Sativa Rose. Sun in the dungeon? Sun in the dungeon? Okay. Alrighty then. I'll take things that never fucking happened for 500, Alex.
Where was Summer that morning?
She was right next to me.
Okay, tell me about that.
Well, like what? I mean,
well, you tell me those memories.
Well, she usually plays all day, and then she would always ask me, say, Dad, will you take me to bed? Because I'm tired, you know, and so I'd always take her downstairs and I'd put her in bed and cover her real good, make sure the doors are locked and everything like that, and get her to sleep. And then, you know, I might stay up for a little while longer or whatever. But she would always want to go to bed a little bit more early than us.
And what time did she go to bed the night before?
Probably about, 8:30, maybe 9, something like that.
Okay, and what time did you go to bed?
Not probably shortly after.
So when you got down there, was she already in bed?
Yeah, she was asleep.
In your bed? I.e., your Candace. What is that, a king or a queen down there? I can't remember.
It's a king.
Okay. So she's sound asleep, or is she awake?
Sound asleep.
Okay. And you get in, and then what do you recall about?
I'll be right there. I'll make it short. Just give me a minute. Give me a few minutes.
Okay.
Baby. Okay.
What?
Oh, here she comes. Get off the fucking phone. I'm making it short. I'll be off in a minute. You get off the phone. Get off the phone. Get off the phone. Get off the phone. Oh, nothing's better than when Candace crashes the party.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Hold on. Okay, I'm fine.
That's fine. So
Everybody's giving me hell because I'm trying to talk to y'all. I mean, you know how it is.
yeah, I'm a lightning rod. You know, it's all good though, because they don't trust what maybe you may be saying is maybe heard in different ways.
Well,
Right?
with everything that's happened, I mean, you know, it's been bad.
So you get in the car, you go to work. What time do you get to work around?
I'm not sure. You know, it takes me an hour to drive out there, so 45 minutes or so.
Okay, so you're probably there by 8?
Probably.
And when you got up, where was Candace at 7 a.m.?
She was still asleep next to someone.
What time, if you recall, did she come to bed that evening?
About the same time I did, I'd say.
So around 9 o'clock the night before?
9 or 10, something like that.
Now, in the past, you told me she used to hit, you know, around 5 o'clock every night, and then she'd kind of zone out. Is that still in play here, or is that
5 o'clock every night?
Huh?
5 o'clock every night. I don't understand.
Well, no, that she would, you know, take the load off of the day by, you know, maybe having a drink or something, you know, maybe hitting a bowl or something to that effect, you know, back in the day during that time. I mean, was.
Well, we used to drink a little, but we never had any problem with we keep it pretty much at a minimum. We never had like real alcohol problems until all this happened, and then it got pretty bad.
Okay.
But,
so you recall maybe around 9 o'clock, you know, give or take, right?
Yeah.
That
well,
she.
We're gonna have to speed this up. I mean, we need to get something. I mean, we've already been through all this.
Honestly, Don, this is for you, not necessarily us. Like we're just.
Yeah, I don't care. I care about Summer.
I mean, that's what I said. You know, there's a lot of missing kids. You know.
Well, yeah, there are, and I've been part of it for 40 years.
Yeah, what's going on?
You're preaching to the choir, and that's why I'm trying to help you.
Okay, well.
What Don is trying to say is there's lots of missing kids, so leave me alone. Don't worry about my missing kid, as he would say. Why don't you worry about some other missing kids and just let our conundrum be an afterthought. They didn't think that people would care. They thought it would be Rose Bly 2.0. No one would care. No one would stand up for her. Nothing like that.
I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people on your chat said they want me to tell the truth. Okay, well, we've always told the truth, but nothing has wavered in our story.
Right. The story is consistent with a couple of. I mean, you know, and I know. I mean, even, and everybody knows. I mean, they've heard it. Unfortunately, sometimes people make mistakes making statements. I mean, that's not an uncommon situation.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you the best that I can from my memory, the way it all happened. I wasn't there when Summer was missing, but I can tell you what I know from my heart and Candace's heart and what she's been through. And I've never seen anybody so tore up in my life. And I feel very, very sorry for her.
So
and
let's
all off, all the YouTube drama. Yes.
Can we clear up the 911 rumors?
Okay.
Where, you know, the call, you know, to 911, and then you hear the dispatcher say that mom went on a walk. What did Candace tell you she said?
Yeah, I don't know why how that got confused like that, because Candace, I mean, she's got 4 kids there. I mean, I don't know how that got misconstrued or whatever, like it did. But it was miscommunication somehow. I don't know how that happened exactly. I'd have to ask Candace, but it was just a miscommunication because she never went on a walk.
No. No. Candace is not the Richard Simmons of Ben Hill Road. She's not outside getting her walking shoes on. Now, some people have said it could be something as simple as taking a walk, as in she walked to her mom's tuna can of a camper.
What she said she helped mom with her knee brace, and she was always helping her mother with all kinds of things. She's getting older. And I'm sure she was telling the exact truth.
When in some of the rough interviews that you've been with, because you were interviewed, I'm sure, by the card team, by the FBI and Hawkins TBI, everybody, right?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. And, they wanted you to do a poly.
Yeah, we all three done polygraphs. And me and Candace passed our polygraph.
Right. But not the first one. I mean,
well, the reason that we couldn't do nothing with the first one, we could not sleep. We didn't get no sleep at all for 3 days straight.
Mm-hmm.
We was a nervous wreck. We didn't know what to do. I wanted to go out and search. I even asked the police. The first day, I want to go search. I'm going to go hit up some of these people in this area. And they, of course, said, fine. And we got jammed up right there on the road. It was blocked by search teams and police and everything. I mean, Beach Creek and Ben Hill Road was completely blocked.
Right.
It was crazy.
Okay. But so anyway, you eventually get a polygraph, and it was kind of inconclusive, wasn't it?
No, sir.
Okay.
No. Okay, like I said, we haven't slept for 3 days. Well, if you've been, you should know.
Yes, it was inconclusive. Yes, it was. Do I care about polygraphs? No. Do police care about them? Kinda. It's a tool that they use to go forward. He's about to slip and say Candace didn't pass hers. Da-na-na-na.
Yeah.
When you take a polygraph, they want you to be real calm. They put all them devices on you and everything. They want your heart rate to come down to nothing. So you sit in a chair for 10, 15 minutes before they even ask you your first question. Well, since we haven't had no sleep, we don't even make it through. Neither one of us make it through, the first 2 questions, and we're falling asleep, and that won't work. They can't do that. So they said, go home and do your best to relax and get sleep, because we need you to be alert for this test. And that makes sense,
Yeah, that does make sense.
Right. They couldn't even do the test because we had, but when we were able to do the test with our nerve shot and everything else, we both passed. Good.
When Candace, when you
Well, hello, angel on earth. What's going on?
Hello. Did you see the live where he was arguing with Candace? This girl called, and I think it was on Ziggy's, and they were fighting kind of, and he told Candace, he said, I've been protecting you.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So he gets on these lives, and Candace comes up to him in the background and tells him to get off these lives.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So that's how he manipulates her. He will get on these lives, and every time she probably about shits herself because she's scared he's going to tell on her.
Mm-hmm.
And he will go clear to the very last, almost to tell on her, and then he backs off. That's how he manipulates her. He knows something.
Well, he has 7 alibis. And now what do you think about the rumor, which my understanding is it's been validated, that he kicked her off the hill $20 and 3 cigarettes.
I think he's tired of living the lie or protecting her.
Do you think maybe with the timeline of events since August that something has come out that he's like, I can't be a part of this?
Maybe, yeah.
I mean,
Like-
I will never take up for Don and be like, Don is a great dude.
No, not at all.
Don could have had this solved by dinner time, June 15th, 2021.
Yeah, but this whole time, he thinks it's funny. I get that feeling from him. Like when he gets on these lives and he gets right to where he can, almost tell. Like he backs off, and then when he hangs up or whatever, gets off, he uses that against her and laughs at her and stuff. Like that's how he abuses her and manipulates her. And no, he's not a good person at all. But things that have come out, he don't want to take the fall for it because he has said himself, I'm not going back to prison.
He has said it over and over and over. I'm not going back to prison. And when he did go to county jail, that was his own doing for violating his probation.
Right. And if he doesn't turn on her, he'll lead the way. So you'll find out. Does that make sense?
100%. And that's another reason why we know that the CPS story is a total lie. Because, yeah, the boys had BB guns, but he said loaded guns. He referred to them as pistols at one time. Well, then Don would have automatically gone to jail because as a felon on probation, you can't have a gun. They weren't there for a damn BB gun or any loaded anything. They were there having to do with the report that was made by Marlena Crawford's daughter. Hence why they said, we are coming back and you have to produce Summer.
So I'm thinking we should really pay attention to the words Don says. Not everything he says, but certain things he says.
Mm-hmm.
And because I think every time he talks, he tells something. You just got to shut out the rest of it and just kind of pay attention real close.
I agree 100% because broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
And a liar cannot keep up with their lies.
Right. And I think Don has told us the whole time, if we really listen to him, like, because he straight said he's got 7 alibis, she has none. And then he said that when they were fighting about I've protected you this whole time.
Well, let's listen to the words of the DA.
This is a very complicated issue that has been made more complicated by the players in this drama.
By the players in this drama.
Yeah.
And I think now is the time to light up the YouTube streets and talk. Because what I'm hearing is true. Don is fed the F up. And he might possibly crack.
Come right out and tell you, but he'll lead the way.
That's it. We're looking for breadcrumbs because we know that you tell the truth.
He won't come right out and tell you because she's the mother of his children, whatever, some stupid trivial thing. But then he can't be accused of telling on her, but he's going to lead the way. If we really listen to his words, he'll lead the way. I feel that.
I promise someone has it figured out. I believe Leslie Earnhardt 100%. She's the one that out of the blue brought up Summer Wells and said there is one piece of the puzzle. And I know people hate hearing that, but they would hate it even worse if it went before a jury and the person or persons responsible were acquitted because they didn't have everything they needed to convict. We're not looking for an arrest. We're looking for a conviction.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to jump down. I just food for thought. I mean,
Well, I appreciate you being up here. Hey, sorry about that debacle last week with Pam. I didn't know.
that's okay.
Every time I turned around, she'd go, Rex, did you get my screenshot? Rex, my screenshots. And I kept saying, no, her screenshots are a picture of her TV while she's watching Prayer Garden. I can't do anything with that.
I jumped down out of respect for you because I cannot stand that woman.
Okay, well, I just felt bad. I thought you were mad at me.
No, not at all. If I just stayed up, it wouldn't have been nice. So I'm going to jump down.
Okay. Oklahoma, what did you think of that win this weekend? Woo! And Melanie's in the house as the lighter struck. LOL, that's for sure. That was something else. My goodness. That was a very exciting win. Well, anybody want a little off-topic story? Anybody? I'm going to give it to you anyway. Real Rockin' Robin said, yes, a good story. Melanie said, sure. Susan said, please. Mimi Jean said, yep. Oh, Mama Bear. It was announced the other day that Can is under the Panda Protection crew now. Damn. Woo! Can't make it up. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Panda Protection. Well, there's another protector on the streets right now. A certain officer was just sworn in. And here we go.
Would you raise your right paw? As the Troy Police Cat, your role is to act as an ambassador to the community to bridge the gap that sometimes exists between the police and the people they serve, and to help show the human side of the human officers.
As the Troy Police Cat, your role is to act as a representative and champion for shelter animals. Through social media and other outreach efforts, you will show people the joy that shelter animals can bring and promote the adoption of other shelter animals.
As the Troy Police Cat, you will act as a champion for a safe community. You will work with the human officers to promote crime prevention efforts and to take a strong stance against crime.
As the Troy Police Cat, you are the first Troy Police feline, and you are a trailblazer. You shall serve an inspiration for others and encourage anyone trying to make a positive difference in their community.
As the Troy Police Cat.
Okay, I am laughing too hard at this because I could see my favorite cats doing this. OJ, oh yeah. You all have seen his lizard videos, okay? For those of you that are new members, check out anything in green. It's for members. I could see Chip and Tigger doing this. And since Finn gives Uli a run for her money, I could see that kitty cat doing it. Pawffer, Pawfficr Donut was sworn in.
You understand that police officers are often called to dangerous and difficult situations. You shall serve as a comfort and support to the human officers, cuddling when called upon.
As the Troy Police Cat, you will always strive to be the best feline that you can be and embody the following characteristics: brave, honest, strong, inquisitive, diligent, and tolerant of the canine unit. If you agree to these important things and embrace the role of the Troy Police Cat, please raise your right paw and meow. I hereby appoint you to the position of Troy Police Cat and authorize you to carry out duties of a officer of the law. Congratulations.
That is the cutest thing. You know where this came from? This little kitten got into the police station and started killing mice, bringing in birds and stuff like that. And they're like, well, we can either arrest the cat or make the cat one of the officers. So now he is like their permanent in-house police cat that they all take turns feeding, litter duty, water, food, treats. He's got his own scratching post, you name it. But they said either we're going to arrest him for murdering all of these animals and bringing them to us, or we're going to make him an officer. I'm glad they went with making him an official officer. Now, if you did that with OJ, it would go to his head because he already thinks he's better than God. Okay, true story. Doesn't matter what's going on. OJ always thinks his shit doesn't stink. Well, this has been another great show, and I'm going to be back in an hour to give you a quick update on those nasty asses in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Is everyone going to be back in 1 hour? It's going to hurt my feelings if you're not. All right, I'll see you guys back here in a little bit. You're the absolute best. Thank you, Mod Squad. Thank you, new members. Thank you, long-standing members. And thank you, friends. And for being here and keeping the mean streets of YouTube a little cleaner day after day.